Hello guys, welcome to round number 4. I'm playing black again. I hope you will enjoy the game. Let me know any questions you might have, any suggestions regarding the recap. And yeah, I'll do some prep. And again, playing not a kid. He's like what, 19-year-old probably right now. Yes, 19-year-old, 2050 with double black again because I played double white in first rounds, now double black. So let's see how it goes. I hope you will enjoy, and I'll see you for the recap after the game. Okay, guys, just came back. Let's quickly take a look at the game. It was one of the wildest games I recently played. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. So let's see how it went. So e4. To start with, my opponent didn't have any games in the database, so it was basically blind prep. Lucky for me, I got to take a look at what he played, but at some point I started spending too much time, so we'll see. So e5, knight c3, knight f6, f4, g5, f takes e5, knight e4, queen f3. So again, knight c6 or f5, two main moves. I go f5 because I looked at it. d3, knight c3 takes, and now d4. So, and after queen g3, I mean, I'm not sure if, let's say, it will be visible. No, I mean, it's tough, but maybe you can see the time that I start spending at some point. Okay, maybe it's not that good, but okay, I'll walk you through once we get to the point. So queen g3, and I started burning a lot of time at this moment. So I go knight c6, bishop e2, once again, spend a lot of time, bishop e6, c4, and after queen d7, I was down to last 46 minutes from the starting of 90 minutes. So, and after b1, he told me it was the last move in the prep. He had 93 minutes. So basically, I was down like 40, almost 50 minutes on the clock. That's kind of unbelievable. So, night before, you might be wondering why I didn't play bishop b4 here. Kind of made him go king d1 and then he loses the right to castle. The problem is, guys, yes, of course, I was obviously thinking of it, but I was like, okay, king on d1 is safe. The center is close, so I cannot really use the vulnerability of the skin. So it makes no sense for me to. I mean, it makes sense to play bishop before, but I felt okay, maybe I shouldn't do it, and I decided not to go for it. So I go king d7, rook b1, and now knight b4. Now he has some problems to solve. At least I put some threats on the pawns. So he decided to go bishop d1, which I thought, okay, I mean, I take on a2, and now suddenly this gets a lot better. So he goes bishop d2, I go c6 to protect the b7 pawn. Now he goes knight e2. The idea is to aim for d4 and also aim for f4 square. And I was scared for a sec. Like I play a5 and he played castle. So knight f4 seemed like a very good move right now. And I was honestly scared. What I planned is to go knight b4 here. And after knight b4, I was like, what if he goes bishop h5? Because now g6, there is, I think even bishop g6 is, okay, this is a, so I actually looked at this line. I was like, okay, bishop f7, e6, bishop g6, it takes g7, king g7, knight g6. That's actually equal. Wait. Oh, right. King f7, I'm up a piece. Yeah, that's what I completely missed from my calculation, but he didn't play it. So he goes castle, and I was like, okay, bishop b4. Computer also likes knight c3, but knight c3 I thought, okay, I didn't even consider because it just gives up a pawn. But apparently, I mean, it makes sense because I get rid of the knights. I simply go castle. My bishop on a6 is pretty much untouchable. I can try push b5 next move. Actually, let's say bishop f3, a4. Yeah, like this is a very good position, in my opinion, for black. But yeah, I just didn't go for it. So bishop b4, he goes knight f4, I finally go castle. So I cannot really take this bishop on d2 because it now seems too dangerous. Because let's say knight e6, I take on a6, there's queen g7, attacking on h8, attacking on b7, and I'm hopeless. So I go castle, bishop b4, knight b4, queen f2, now threatening to take on a6, and then go king d4, so I go rook e8, rook a1, I go king d8. So I also considered b6, but b6 there is always c5. And I was like, okay. But now computer says, okay, b5, rook a5, bishop f7, attacking here. And let's say rook e1, I assume it's king c7. I'm also wondering, can I take on it? No, I think that doesn't work, right? In c7, yeah, there is some knight e6, bishop e6, rook e6, queen a5, and king d4. Yeah, not so clear, but apparently c6 pawn is kind of weak. Rook e7 is coming. Yeah, I can see where this is coming from. But okay, queen d8. Both pawns are protected. Now knight e2. Trying to make sure I play c5, which I do. And now he goes back. And now I go bishop c8, which is the best move. Threatening to play rook e5 next. Rook e1, knight e6, e6, g5, queen g3. Queen g3 is best. I also consider bishop h5. I wasn't quite sure. Let's say g takes, rook e8, rook e8, queen f4, and I thought of computer likes bishop e6, but I was like, okay, this, bishop e6, rook e1. I considered queen d7, queen g5, and I wasn't sure like how do I break through here. Like this is a draw. What I'm supposed to do? This is already a draw. Queen d7 is a draw. Queen g5. So I'm supposed to play queen e7, but queen e7 I didn't like the pin. But the problem is he cannot really use the pin right now. What if he goes, let's say, queen h6? Yes, just tries to attack. Yeah, I mean, you kind of see that it's passive. But the good thing is, though, if rook could have gone somewhere, let's say e3 g3 or e4 g4, yes, that would have been good. But now the problem is this blocks. E5 is the only square, but it's useless. So I'm in a good spot. But yeah, I just didn't see it. But yeah, so he goes queen g3, which is apparently best, and now knight d5. And rook e6 was actually best, and I can now see why it was best, because I forgot that there's stupid bishop h5. And now, I mean, I for sure wouldn't have experienced problems that I had during the game afterwards. So bishop f7, but yeah, we'll get to winning moments later. So bishop e6. Now, if knight c7 is one of the ideas, there is a 4 and black wins. So he goes bishop h5. I immediately go f4. And now after queen f3, I looked at bishop d5. And I knew that it was probably better than bishop f7. But then with low time on the clock, I couldn't really calculate what happens here. I saw that I have queen d5, let's say c takes d5, takes, knight b4, d6. But you know what I was scared of? Like rook d8, I was like, I saw rook e8, and I forgot that basically, let's say I can simply play king g7. My thinking was that, okay, I cannot play knight c6 to block d8 because bishop c6 and white promote. So I was like, okay, oh sure. So what is he going to do? I mean, rook e5 now, it's like, but yeah, rook e8 takes, and I can simply go king g7. And now d7, knight c6, and bishop can no longer capture. And I simply go king f6, king e7, and then take the pawn, and this pawn is going forward. So it's like game over right away. And let's say king f2, I think a4, I can't say it's best, but it's like this. But yeah, he kind of has to play d8 to have a4 square. But yeah, man, like it was such an easy win, and I missed it. Like that's where the class comes in. Like earlier in the round, earlier today in the third round, I got some chances and I didn't use them. Now I'm getting some chances, and you will see what happens. So I instead go bishop f7, which is okay, which is fine. I'm still winning. Takes, rook f8, rook e6. Now knight b4. So I was worried. Let's say I go this way, takes rook f3, rook e1, and I wasn't that sure. Like I was like, okay, there are some rook e7 ideas now. I still have queen f5, but it all looked a bit scary to me. So I go knight b4. I trade on d5. I go f3. Now take on d5, rook e5, king d6. So this endgame is probably just somewhat equal, but okay, we transpose to kind of same similar endgame. So I go king d6, rook g5, rook f3, rook c5, b6, and now king f5. So what I was supposed to play is a4. Just push the pawn, let's say rook a5. I believe, yeah, I also saw, oh, here it might actually be good. So I just get my rook back. So I saw this ideas of rook g3, but I was like, hey, king h1 and queen c6, there is always king d5, and there's like nothing. So I play b6, and he transposes to a rook endgame where his king is kind of stuck, but he still has some chance to save. So rook g6, and I really hoped for rook g6, and then something like rook e6, because now I can play b5. And as soon as I saw this position, I was very happy because, I mean, I knew I'm gonna win, because now let's say a4 rook b5, now rook c2, rook a5, and now a simple rook a2. And my king starts walking over. So let's say king g1, king g7, and my king is just too good. I take on d3, king d2, d3, and then slowly win the game rook c2, and then king c1, d2, d1. Yeah, it was like, but okay, he played rook e4 back. So I go rook c2, rook d4, b5. Rook d5 is a mistake. Now I play passive rook b2. So I'm supposed to play this, give up a pawn, and play b3. Because now, let's say this b2, rook c1 is a threat. And he has no defense. He has to play rook a1. But I'm an idiot. I gotta push the pawns. I play one move passive, and now again, like, he's kind of back to the game. Rook g2, this. And now once again, I had to push the pawn. And for some reason, not this pawn. Like, I was always curious, what's the difference here? The difference is, I cannot really tell you. Like this, let's say rook e7 cannot be played, so h5, b3, h6, rook f2. Once again, king g1, let's say. There's simple rook f6 now. Let's rook b7, rook g8. Checkmate. Or not checkmate, but rook g7, you gotta take and then two postpones. Yeah, but again, absolutely idiotic decision. Rook c8, a4, a3, a2, rook e7. And you might be wondering, why am I so sad? Like, Romka, you're a +8. How? Why are you sad? I'm sad because, yes, I played rook b1. He goes d7. And here I made the only move. I mean, not the only one, but one of the only moves which I could play rook e1, rook d8, take the pawn on d7, and then try to win with this pawn. I had 3 minutes at that point. 3 minutes. So rook g8 wins. I mean, yeah, you probably still understand how on earth I could probably make a draw here. But yeah, rook g8 was just winning on the spot. Like, let's say rook e8, and I'm just right on time to play b4, because now let's say rook e8 a1, and it's like a checkmate, and he cannot do anything. Like h4, I played this, and wait, what? King h2, b2. Oh, it still wasn't so easy. Wait, before h4, I gotta play rook d8. My goodness. You know, I was sure that it's gonna be completely, like, super easy to win, but as I see right now, not so easy. Like king g2. Okay, now I take, but let's say if he plays rook e8, king g7. I mean, if he takes a1, and it's game over. It should be king h2, king b2. Like, I stand behind the pawn, and it's game. Yeah, you know, it's very interesting. But okay, rook e7, king f6. Like this, I can easily convert as well, because he gotta go back and I take on d7. But yes, some tricks still. But yeah, I played rook d8, and guess what? My king has no no space to hide. So rook e8, I cannot take because this comes in with check. So I go king g7, rook e7. rook e6. And we agreed to a draw because basically king f5, rook e5. Basically, this rook keeps checking me. So probably what I should have done, let's say here, is just to play this, and then let's say play rook d8, because I looked at this end game and I'm like, okay, rook a2. Wait, what? Yeah, rook a2 is best move, and computer says rook g7 is best. But I would just keep this one, king g2, b4, b3. Yeah, this has to be winning. Yeah, because look what happened. So this, but still not so easy. Like I'm looking at the game and I'm like, okay, this, king g4, let's say king c4, this, play h5, this h4, this rook c7. He cannot take because it's gonna be an endgame. Now let's say this. But again, it's like it's not so easy to like win this position. Like computer doesn't actually show me the correct way. Rook e7. Okay, because I cut the king off. Rook e3. Okay, I mean I kind of see that it's probably might be winning, but like you don't have to take. Now maybe rook g7, and then let's say king c3. And can I go rook g7 now? Yeah, now I can go because king is too far. Yeah, I mean a lot of things that you gotta look at. As far as accuracy goes, of course, below 90, as it should, because the game is just terrible. 85.4 for my opponents and 87.2 for myself. But yeah, very disappointed not to use both chances that I had today because yeah, I mean in this third round, in the fourth round, both both with black, like yeah, the only thing I'm happy about is that I mean I'm outplaying this guys. It's like yeah, the other thing is yeah, I cannot convert, but yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, it's chess. Like yeah, and of course I play a terrible game against Sean in the second round. You can go check it out. But yeah, other than that, in every game, I mean, I'm kind of. I didn't allow a lot of play from my opponent so far in this tournament. I'm playing quite solid, which I like. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, I also should kind of keep these thoughts off my head. But like, if I'm not using these chances myself, like someone is gonna use this chance against me, and then it's gonna be very disappointing. But yeah, in the next round, it's for sure white pieces. So let's see how it goes. I'll see you tomorrow in the recap of round number 5. Enjoy. Bye bye.